What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I have some new news concerning Manny Robles. Manny Robles, former trainer of the first of its kind unified Mexican heavyweight champion of the world, Andy Ruiz, states that Anthony Joshua should have stayed with Robert Garcia. He goes on to say and explain that Robert Garcia had a tough task because he was fighting one of the best. He was preparing a fighter to fight one of the best fighters in the world after already being defeated by that fighter. He said that he wished that Robert would have had a tune-up, and Robert needs to get needs to get some credit, or deserve some credit, for preparing AJ in the nick of time that he prepared him in. He would rather prefer him having a tune-up again so he could gel with Anthony Joshua and get to know how Joshua obeys direction. You know, that's really big. And he says that, you know, at this stage of his career, Anthony Joshua, not taking anything away from Derrick James, but it's hard to teach someone that's supposed to know what they know by now, new tricks. And he went on to say that fighting someone like Alexander Usyk is already going to be a hard task. So give Robert Garcia a break. In fact, give him the fight of the year and let me counterpunch. Listen, if anybody knows anything about expectations or from getting thrown under the bus, it's Manny Robles. Okay, so I expect Manny Robles to respond the way he responded, simply because everyone knew, just like I said about AJ and Robert Garcia, if Andy Ruiz would have beat Anthony Joshua a second time in Saudi Arabia, okay, in 2019, do you think they would have got rid of Manny Robles? No. See, a lot of times these fighters need excuses, so they try to cover their tracks by throwing the trainer under the bus simply because they didn't do what they supposed to do. They didn't dedicate their time where it was needed. And then at the end of the day, when they lose and they don't get the results because of that, they blame the trainer. So Manny Robles is a prime advocate of trainers that's speaking up for their for the services that they have. Okay, see, Manny Robles knew there's only so much that I can teach Andy, and Andy's going to have to learn that, just like Anthony Joshua. But he did point out the things that Robert Garcia was able to teach Anthony Joshua, like going to the body more. He just should have done that more. Things that he didn't even really see Anthony Joshua do a whole hell of a lot before. Go to the body, you know, and he could have done that. And he taught him that, and those are one of those things that he taught him. I feel that Manny Robles does have a point, though, because I think having a trainer and the politics of boxing depends on if you keep that trainer, is if you win or lose. Not it's up to the judges or whatever, the crowd influencing the judges, or the politics of being in the backyard or whatever. No, you know, a lot of times these fighters, you know, or their promoters, they blame the trainer, which I don't think that's a good idea. You know, even though I would like to have seen Robert Garcia, you know, where Angel Fernandez was, because Angel Fernandez has been there. And really, what was his title anyway? You know, everybody's now looking at Robert Garcia, but it's like, okay, now you want to not go with Robert Garcia when he was more than likely hired to be an assistant to the guy that you put in charge. See, the only difference, I see Anthony Joshua doing to Angel Fernandez is the same thing that Deontay Wilder did with Malik Scott. Counterpunch. He left him in charge because he's been a guy that was already on the team and already on board. Okay, so that's my only hang up about Robert Garcia. He wasn't the standard traditional coach that was paid or that we seen that was in charge throughout that fight. We seen someone else in front of Anthony Joshua. Not saying that he couldn't take direction from over here and over there, but at the same time, perception is a mother sucker. And we perceive that Angel Garcia or Angel Fernandez, definitely was the guy that was telling Anthony Joshua what to do. Well, if that's the case, nothing changed, and why was Robert Garcia there? But anyway, you guys tell me what you think of Manny Robles stating that Anthony Joshua made a mistake by getting rid of Robert Garcia. He needed another fight with him to know him a lot more. You guys tell me what you think of Manny Robles's opinion about Robert Garcia splitting with Anthony Joshua. Of course, please subscribe, and you guys been Counterpunch. Peace.